Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing about Sonnet 130 by William Shakespeare. Now, Sonnet 130 actually, as you know, is composed by the renowned English poet and playwright William Shakespeare. Although it was likely written in the 1590s, it wasn't until 1609 that it was published. And it's a part of a collection of sonnets that explore themes of beauty, love, and desire. Now, as per the sequence, as the name tells, Sonnet 130 is the 130th sonnet of the 154 sonnets written by Shakespeare. These are known for its exploration of love, but here the love is addressed to the unknown dark lady. While most of Shakespeare's sonnets are addressed to a young man, the later part of the sequence introduces Dark Lady, a woman with whom he happens to have a very complex and challenging relationship. So it is a thought that Sonnet 130 refers to the Dark Lady, although her name is always unknown. Sonnet 130 is an unconventional love poem. In Elizabethan poetry, it was customary to write sonnets praising beloved woman's beauty, often using extravagant metaphors to describe her physical attributes. Shakespeare's Sonnet 130 takes an unconventional approach by defying all these conventions. The structure of sonnet is consisting of three quatrains with an alternating rhyming pattern: AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, followed by a concluding couplet GG. The final couplet provides a strong and resounding statement that emphasizes the real beauty of his beloved. Let's now go on to the themes that is discussed in the poem, the sonnet. It is a realism over exaggeration. Instead of exaggerating and idealizing women's beauty, Shakespeare emphasizes her humanity. He rejects the poetic cliché and hyperbolic descriptions commonly found in love poetry of his time. There are inversions and realisms. The sonnet features a series of inversions. He challenges the typical compliments, such as comparing women's eyes to the sun or her cheeks to roses, by describing her features as far more down to earth. Praising real beauty. Despite the rejection of traditional compliments, Shakespeare's intent is to praise women's real beauty. He admires her in realistic terms and implying that her true beauty is more genuine than the exaggerated descriptions found in conventional poetry that is actually used during those era. He focuses on the importance of realism. Shakespeare's sonnet actually underscores the importance of viewing his beloved realistically. He refuses to engage the game of falsely praising her beauty and insists on genuine admiration. He also debunks convictions here. Now, while conventional compliments may be charming, poetic heart within Shakespeare actually debunks them to reveal a deeper moral value in realism. By rejecting exaggerated metaphors, he implies the genuine loveliness of his mistress. He also transcends the conventions. Shakespeare's approach transcends the convention by overturning the traditional way of describing beauty. He suggests that his love for women is even more extraordinary because it's based on authenticity rather than falsehood. Now let's go to the analysis of the poem. Um, in modern society, we often mix convention of sincerity with extreme exaggeration, especially in advertising. Shakespeare's culture, however, had a gentler form of artifice and a shaper notion of sincerity, and often referred to as wit and combination of seriousness and playfulness. So this is actually an era where we see a culture of sincerity and exaggeration, and Shakespeare tries to involve his realistic ideas into it. And now, wittiness is a poem is a major trait that we see in most of Shakespeare's poems, his plays, and all. Now, it's considered this poem, the sonnet, is considered witty. The boy genuinely praises his mistress' beauty while playfully subverting conventional compliments and referring them as gently absurd. So he directly tells that it's absurd to consider someone's cheeks as red and lips as red. So he tells that it is okay to be realistic. He sees a realistic woman rather than a superficial goddess-like beauty. Now, he starts to anatomize women's beauty here. The convention of dissecting women's beauty by exaggerating each feature can be viewed in various ways. Now, that is something which he ridicules to a larger extent. It might be considered sexist in one regard, playful, graceful, and blend of these qualities. Interpretation depends mostly on one's perception. Shakespeare here tries to epitomize women's beauty as it is, the true beauty, not as it is laid down by the society, specifications laid down by the society. Now, Shakespeare's poem Sonnets has always a lot of humor into it. So here he again brings that into the sonnet as well. The poem's humorous element is evident in I grant I never saw goddess go, where the exaggerated alliteration adds to humor. The poet's insistence that his mistress doesn't walk like goddess can be seem funny, but it is his way of realistically saying that even though my mistress is not like a goddess, doesn't walk like a goddess, doesn't have a beauty as described for that of a goddess, I love my beloved for who she is, not for the external beauty that is portrayed or the specifications that is charted down by the society. Mostly the target audience for Shakespeare's jokes about women's beauty is always a matter of debate. It could be aimed at both male and female audiences. As humor and subversion, conventional compliments can be appreciated by people of all genders. So in essence, Sonnet 130 offers a unique perspective on love, beauty, blending sincerity, wit in both praise and gently mock the conventions of Elizabethan love poetry, and the interpretation of humor, playfulness, and subversion of conventions can vary depending on the reader's perspective and sensitivity to the historical context in which the poet writes it. Thank you.